Welcome to She Rises Through It, a podcast for the woman becoming, especially in the messy middle. I'm Sydney Jocelyn, mama, writer, creative, and a woman on the journey of finding herself after far too long following the rules, the roles, and the version of life we're told we're supposed to live. I'm not here to teach from the mountaintop. I'm here in the thick of it, sharing what's helping me rise through the hard parts, the shifts, the setbacks, the quiet breakthroughs. This space is real, raw. We'll talk about the good, the grief, the ugly truths, and the moments of hope that keep pulling us forward. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Please know, what I share comes from my lived experience. It's not medical or mental health advice. If you or someone you love is struggling, please reach out to a licensed professional who can truly support you. This is about becoming through it all. You're not behind, you're becoming. Welcome to episode 3 of She Rises Through It, the pause that changed everything. This episode, it's not going to be a highlight reel. It's the deep breath after the change, after the fall, some might say. It's the part where your feet haven't hit the ground yet and you're wondering, will they ever? When I quit my job, coming back from Costa Rica with no backup, no plan, just a gut feeling and knowing in my heart that I needed to. That feeling when I got home, it was loud, it was messy, it was real. I have my toddlers at my feet, laundry's piling up, dishes are piling up. And my nervous system is still shaking. And this is the stuff that people don't post about. This is the raw, the authentic, the messy middle that people don't show. It's the part where you're trying to hold it together when everything inside feels like you're falling apart. So this episode is for the woman who is in it, the one wondering, what the hell do I do now? What the hell did I just do? For the mom who's holding everyone else up but is crumbling on the inside. This version of me doesn't need a pep talk, right? I just need to be seen. I need to feel like I've been seen. I need to feel like I've been heard. And I know there's other women and mamas out there that need that moment of clarity and need that moment of you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. So let's sit in this together. Let's go through my messy middle. Coming back has felt like I've been dropped into a life that I no longer fit. Everything's the same, right? Same house, same routines, but things within me are not the same. And I still don't have that all figured out. I'm not in the jungle. I'm not doing healing workshops like I was doing in Costa Rica. I'm not doing yoga 3 times a day. So that familiarity has all of a sudden become unfamiliar for me. And I'm back in the chaos of my home. It can be overwhelming. It can be peaceful. And there are moments that I'm here and I'm home, but my heart and soul are somewhere else. And I'm still going through this tender spot. And it's real, right? There's been clarity. There's been no clarity. And I've just found a lot of space. I'm navigating that space and it feels terrifying at times. And in the quiet, there are moments that I can start hearing myself again, or I start going down this spiral whirlwind of emotions. And through all that noise, through all that fear, it's nerve-wracking. I mean, I've had a couple rough days. This is actually a little bit more of a rough week for me. Like I'm feeling all the feels and I'm allowing myself to feel all the feels and I'm allowing compassion. I want you to also, whatever you're feeling, to give yourself compassion too, because it's not easy and only you know the feeling that you're going through. There are a lot of us that can empathize and understand and feel something similar, but not your exact situation, right? So this new version of myself, I've started doing some daily deposits and tiny things, daily rituals that kind of help reconfigure me. and really bring me back to myself and give me some peace. So I'm just going to go through those today to give you guys some tips and tricks. And hopefully, if it's something you've never done, you're willing to give it a try and just try for 15 minutes. And I'll talk with you about that here shortly as well. This whole 15-minute mark. Journaling, it's a huge thing for me. Those are the moments that I can start hearing my voice again. Sometimes it could be the most randomest things. And it could be a statement like, Sydney, why are you writing right now? This is pathetic. There's no point to this. Why are you even thinking this? What I'm allowing myself to do is all of those words that are coming through my brain, that's what I'm writing down. All the negative, the mushy stuff that you're like, what the heck and why is it all just being sporadic in my brain? Those are the things I'm writing down, because once I start getting through that messiness and I start navigating and filtering through all of it, then my journaling starts changing. I can start seeing full sentences and understandings of what I'm doing. And I can start seeing the clarity and see myself and actually hear myself again. So it helps me hear my voice. And this is not my journal. This one's not, but this is the similar size. So I do 3 pages of journaling. At least I try for 3 pages. It's a semi small size. This is not my exact one, but it's very similar. And it's easier to get 3 pages of this than 3 pages of a notebook, right? So smaller planner. It's a nice one. Portable. So I try for my 3 pages. I'm not perfect. The other day, I literally wrote 1 page and I wrote in there, I can't journal right now. My brain is going too fast. I need to stop. What I needed to do there, and something that I recognized, is we have a threshold, right? You can get to a hyper or you can get to a low, and you want to stay within the middle. When I was at that point, I was way high above my threshold. So I needed to calm down and I needed to get myself back in that center. What I ended up doing was actually a calming activity for me, a bubble bath, just relaxing and being by myself and reconvening with my thoughts and just pure silence. Anywho, sometimes journaling goes great, sometimes it doesn't, but it's taking that time to empty all the clutter and start coming to all of the things that you want to hear. Not all of the things that you want to hear, but you'll start getting more clarity. And I think they're about to start siding again, so I may have to stop. But I'm going to try and keep going until I hear it banging. And then dancing is another one. So journaling and dancing. Dancing is great. I feed off of music. It feeds my soul. And it's something that takes all that tension within my body and just releases. And I'm going to look into this further, but I remember hearing something that we hold a lot of tension in our hips. So when you actually do movement, it helps release it, especially in women. So I'm going to look further into that because I want to actually give you guys full data information. These are just things and tidbits that I've learned. But I love music, and it could be anything. I mean, I just finished working out. I had to blow dry my hair quick so I could come in and get this podcast done. It's my 4th time recording it. But I threw on my headphones and went after my workout, right? I was dancing during my workout and I was like, okay, get this dance move out and then get back into your squat, get back into your hanging squat, get back into your calves, whatever I was doing. Because it releases so much tension for me and it just gives me a different mindset. Sometimes it's a different genre. Yesterday it was religious music and then it was also country. Today was not that. It was very different. But releasing that tension that sits in your chest and your heart and your soul is so good for you, even if it's 15 minutes. Again, I'm going to be mentioning this 15 minutes and I'll come to that in a little bit of what that means. But you never know till you try. And you may think, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous of me. It's going to feel ridiculous at first. But then you kind of just start doing it and you're like, whoa, what did I do? Then I do movement. So outside of like dancing, I do movement, strength training. It helps me feel powerful in my body again. It is something that 121 days ago, when you guys listen to this, it'll be 122 days ago, I restarted my journey of reframing how I work out and how I get movement. And it started with 15 minutes. My therapist. So I think a therapist is phenomenal, and I think everybody should see a therapist just because they give such an unbiased opinion. And eventually they get to know you. I mean, mine knows me pretty well, where she knows some of like my nooks and crannies that I get stubborn or in my ways. And she's like, but that's her moment of helping me reshape my mindset, right? So 120 days ago, she told me, when you work out, do 15 minutes. Just try 15 minutes. And Sydney, it's not about losing weight. It is about your mindset. It is about the positivity and the endorphins that get released. And it's about you feeling it, right? You getting that mental clarity. Because for me, I love working out because it starts my day so perfectly. It gives me this energy rush. When I do that, I know that I've done 1% of my day that's the hardest, and it felt so good. And I love pushing myself to some limits to see what I can do. So it started with 15 minutes, and it started with just my treadmill. It started with that, and some days waking up because I was trying to find time. That was the other part, finding time. And I've found that 3:30, 4 a.m. is like my golden hour. Crazy, I know. But it would either be 10 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of walking, 10 minutes of stretching, because there were just days I was like, what am I doing? And I was trying to get my body reacclimated to this type of conditioning. Then finally, with the walking, I switched over to, hey, today I want to try a workout. And now I am on month 3 of a workout program, going through it again because I want to test myself. I want to test my limits. I want to test my strength and keep going up in weights. And I'm up in weights that I have not lifted since Brooks. So it's a phenomenal feeling. And that 15-minute mark too was just a good way to start. It was a good way to take one day at a time, take 15 minutes and go for it. Then all of a sudden it was 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden it was 30 minutes. And I mean, it happened over the weekend. We went on a walk and I asked Brooks, do you want to go home or you want to keep going? And he told me, keep going. I was tapped out, but I was like, okay, let's keep going. And he pushed me, right? He pushed me to a point that I was like, oh, this felt good. It was like my brain was telling me, no, you're done. But my body could do more. And then now I know in my mind, I can do it. That's what we're trying to reshape. We're trying to reshape our mindset for the positive. And we're trying to rewire it from all that negative stuff and all of our old ways to find a new rhythm, find a way to heal. Become who you're meant to be. It's a journey. I mean, I'm not going to be who I want to become for a long time. And then when I get there, I'm going to have another goal of who I want to become and where I want to go. So journaling, dancing, strength training, with 15 minutes starting there. And I think the 15-minute mark is great across the board for any type of activity starting. Then there are moments too that I just let myself exist. I let myself exist within motherhood. I let myself exist without being perfect. So I just exist, trying not to fix it and trying not to perfect it. It's just sitting there and being like, okay, let's find peace for a second. Let's find calmness. Let's find clarity and let's just be. That is actually my hardest thing to do right now because I am a very much go, go, go individual. So when I slow down, when I breathe, and when I just like sit and feel all the feels and be okay and just exist, it's so hard, but it's fun. It is very fun at times because then you see the strength and you're like, I can do this, right? I can do this. I can sit here and I can be okay. And I don't need to go, go, go because I am making progress and I am moving by just existing, by just being calm, patient in my zen. Those are 4 of my tips and tricks right now and my daily deposits that I do. I think even just starting with 15 minutes a day is such a good benchmark. And whether it be my 4 or whether it be, one of my 4 that I do, or whether it be crafting again. If you're a crafter, or playing basketball, or yoga, or hey, I'm gonna do 15 minutes of baking. I love making cakes. This is what I want to do. It helps me get in the kitchen and be creative. Do it. 15 minutes, because you never know what's gonna come through all of that. There are moments it's not gonna feel like it's healing, right? You're gonna feel like you're in survival mode. You're trying to figure out, what the heck do I do now? But something we need to kind of clarify and really reflect on is, maybe that is what healing actually is. Maybe healing is just taking it moment by moment, either existing, either feeling like you're just surviving. And some days, you're going to question, just like I question, like, what the heck did I just do? Did I make the right decision? My decision in what I'm going through, I know for a fact I made the right decision, but it's now navigating that. And there are some days you want to go back to the familiarity of things. Also, too, I remember that version of who I was, and I couldn't keep going that path anymore. I couldn't keep being that person that didn't have a voice, that felt closed off at the throat because people were trying to shut me down. That's not who I am. I want to be as raw and authentic as I can be. And I think everybody has this journey. I far too often throughout the last 2.5 years thought I was alone in this. There were moments I was judged. There were moments I was pinned as the bad person. And there were moments of so much self-doubt, worry, and failure within me. I just remember that version, and I remember that I don't want anybody to feel alone in a situation like that, and I don't ever want anybody to think they don't have somebody to walk with them on this path. And I continue to choose and honor who I used to be, and honor her, and honor everything about what I've endured the last 2.5 years. It's not terrible. A lot of people go through a lot worse than me. But even when it's hard, I continue to choose her, and I continue to honor her, because that is the person I don't want to be. That is the person I don't want anybody to have to go through. That same feeling, self-doubt, emotional distress. I don't want anybody to go through that. So that's what this space, the collective's all about. It's about coming together as a group and honoring that we're all going through a journey ourselves, and how can we support and uplift each other, because we don't know what each and everyone's going through, and the judgment needs to just stop. It just needs to stop. And I'm here for no judgment. I'm here for being your cheerleader. I'm here for honoring the spaces we're in, the pauses we need to take, and honoring that it's not wasted time for us. It's this entire journey of who we're becoming, and it's the root system of what's next for all of us. With that, if you're in this space between who you are, who you once were, who you're becoming, I want to say this as clearly as I can, and I want you to repeat this. I want you to write it on a mirror, because I think it's so meaningful. I want you to know that you are not behind. You truly are not behind. You are not lost. You are right where you need to be. Even when it feels like you're stuck, you're still moving. Even when nothing makes sense, you're still becoming. So let's ask these 3 questions, grab a journal, write them down, and reflect on it. And if you want to share them with me, feel free to DM me at Sydney Jocelyn on Instagram. I would love to hear your answers, your stories, and just be there for you and support you. So 3 questions to end today. What's one tiny way I can honor myself today? What would happen if I stopped rushing? Can I trust this quiet to teach me something? Because you're not alone in this. You never were. I am right here with you. We're in it together. I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for choosing yourself, who you were and who you want to become. I want us to start becoming together.
So again, you are not behind, you're becoming.
Thank you so much for being here. Truly. If something in today's episode stirred something in you, I'd love for you to follow, share it with a friend, or leave a few words in a review. It helps more women find this space. We are just getting started, and next week's episode is already unfolding. I cannot wait to bring you along for it. Our full website and more resources are coming soon, but until then, you can always connect with me on Instagram at Sydney Jocelyn. Until next time, you're not behind, you're becoming.